Assalamu alaikum. I'm going to be releasing a book called In the Name of Cow. As you all know that there's a lot of politics happening in today's India, and so much so that the social fabric of the society is changing over times. And cow has been a very important factor in playing politics in today's times in India. So it is going to be a narrative from the perspective of Indian context. I'll be bringing in a lot of political, economical, social, and historic and scientific and constitutional panoramic view in the course of explaining about what I feel about this topic. In Karnataka now they have passed an ordinance to ban the beef in the markets, and all of these things are being heard across India. So this book is going to bring in a religious perspective, a historic perspective as to what was the dietary habit of Indians and how the people from the Indus Valley civilization, they were accustomed to the beef and the meat from the cattle, and also going back to Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita and Quran and the Old Testament and the New Testament. A lot of wide range of arguments are being presented in this book. I just want to give you an example. I just want to talk to about what I have mentioned here. Have you heard of Bahuchara Mata? See, if you look into the Hindu gods and goddesses, they would generally be associated with vehicles, which they call as Vahana. So if you see Ganesha or Ganapati, the Ganapati is the god of the Hindus, where you'll find half human being with the face of an elephant. So this is supposed to be Ganesha. So Ganesha has a Vahana, he has a vehicle, and that happens to be a mouse. Mouse happens to be a vehicle. And similarly, if you see many other gods such as Vishnu is connected with Garuda. Garuda happens to be the eagle. Again, you look at many. And now I'm talking about Bahuchara Mata, who is generally considered to be the goddess of creations according to the Hindu mythological belief. And there is a temple in Gujarat. It's a place called Bahucharaji, where they have people coming there to worship this goddess, Bahuchara Mata. And if you happen to see the Vahana, the vehicle of Bahuchara Mata, it happens to be a rooster. And today we find across India where people have chicken biryani and chicken kebab on the street, and many people have, even among the Hindus, they relish this. And if you were to see, the Bahuchara Mata's Vahana happens to be the rooster. And how is it compatible? Rooster is supposed to be kept sacred, and as much as they revere the cattle, as much they want to preserve the life of the cattle, they should also be talking about preserving the life of rooster also, if you go by that yardstick. So this argument is also presented. Not only this argument, I'm just telling you as a sample. Such arguments are there in the entire book. I'm also discussing about PETA, people for ethical treatment of animals, as to how they are not able to keep up with the consistency with their own ideology. And all of these things is being discussed in this book. So I would want you to look at this with an open mind. This topic is of a great importance at this point in time. As far as Muslims are concerned, we can be good Muslims even by being a vegetarian. It is not something which is fard. It is not something which is obligatory or mandatory upon the Muslims to have beef. Even from cultural aspect, I'm talking about how the Goans and the Keralites, they are accustomed to eating beef, and including the people from the Northeast and all these things. And a lot of factors and why they are accustomed to this kind of a cultural habit. Again, if you want to see how the beef and gelatin, which is working in the field of medicine and also in the field of making so many products across the world. Farmers are the ones who would be really suffering because of banning the slaughtering of the cattle. This is a matter which is going to cause a lot of problem to the people across, the people who are from the lower segment. They are people from the lower strata of income, the farmers and the butchers and the people associated with tannery, and these are the people who would suffer. And on the contrary, the other people who are exporting this beef across the world. India is supposed to be the largest beef exporting country in the world. So you can imagine what is going to happen. On one hand, the farmers will suffer, the butchers will suffer, the local industry will suffer. But on the other hand, the people who are multimillionaires, the people who are, they're exporters, they are like very much influential people with good contacts with the bureaucracy. They will be making all the profit out of selling this beef across the world. So most of you are very much aware, but the good point is that this book has come in a very small package for every one of you to read and benefit, and to promote this idea that beef is part of the Indian culture. I hope that all of you get a copy of this book, and you can also mail us up or contact us and get your copies. And we are also looking for sponsors. We are aiming at 200 copies, which can be reaching the offices of the administrators in the government departments in Karnataka. And these 200 books, we want to give it for free as complimentary. And those who want to sponsor for this, please contact us.